And now to a story you will only see on CBS Mornings, another unbelievable legal case involving the rental car giant Hertz. Last year, the company settled more than 350 lawsuits with customers who say they were falsely accused of stealing cars that they had rented legally from Hertz. Some of those people were in fact arrested and ended up spending time in jail. Well, this morning we're hearing from another Hertz customer who's been facing criminal charges in a similar case. Our consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner has covered the Hertz story for us with a series of exclusive reports, and she's got our latest, this man's story.
I don't care how long it takes.
Meet Blake Gober, a 33-year-old political consultant and former Marine.
I'll do whatever it takes to prove my name.
To clear your name?
Yeah.
The reason? Hertz claims he stole a rental car. In November of 2019, Gober rented a car from Hertz in Morgantown, West Virginia, to drive to his new job.
I moved from Morgantown down to Northern Virginia, and I needed to get down there to start.
When he got there, he says, he returned the car to the Hertz location at Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National Airport.
And you left the keys in the car?
I left the keys in the car. There was no agent there at that time of night.
But last year, nearly 3 years after he says he dropped off the car, Gober was pulled over for speeding in Louisville, where he now lives. Officers then ordered him out of the car.
They pulled me behind the vehicle and placed me in handcuffs and said that I had a warrant for my arrest out of West Virginia.
He says he had no idea why.
Was that scary?
Yes, very much so.
Then he says he spent a week in a Louisville jail waiting for officers from West Virginia to pick him up.
It was hell. It was the worst. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
He was arrested just 6 weeks before he was due to be married. His wife, Erica.
It just, that's not Blake. I couldn't believe that this was even something real.
In January, Gober was indicted for theft of a rental vehicle and grand larceny, a possible 12-year sentence if he were to be convicted, a shadow they say hung over their marriage.
And this entire year has been the hardest year of my life.
Are you scared?
I'm terrified, yeah.
Terrified of?
My husband going to jail. And there's nothing we can do about it.
What the couple didn't know was that theirs was one in a pattern of similar cases involving Hertz, a pattern CBS News has been reporting on for over 3 years. Customer after customer who said they faced arrest, some at gunpoint, and even jail after Hertz claimed they had stolen a car.
It's a stolen vehicle.
Like this real estate agent, Carrie Gibbs.
Sheriffs came pulling up with their guns drawn.
Houston contractor James Tolan.
He said, "Yeah, bro, you're in possession of a stolen vehicle." I was like, that's impossible. I rent from Hertz. I'm a contractor.
And Mother Carmen Bosco, jailed for 40 days, 2 months after giving birth.
I just don't understand how this even happened.
None of the three were convicted. In December, Hertz settled 364 of those cases, paying $168 million to people who had filed claims saying they'd been falsely accused of theft. Gober's defense attorney, Wes Prince.
People like Blake across the country have been wrongfully arrested, wrongfully prosecuted, wrongfully incarcerated for crimes they didn't commit.
Yet when we contacted Hertz about Gober's case, the company stood behind its allegations, telling us in a statement that Gober rented a car from Hertz for 1 day, then kept the car for over 3 months without payment. Hertz said before reporting the car stolen, its representatives had reached out repeatedly to Gober, including by email, text, phone calls, and certified mail, and that he ignored Hertz's outreach. But documents produced by Hertz in the case show company reps were apparently using what Gober says was an old address and some wrong phone numbers. Gober says he doesn't recall getting any emails or phone calls from Hertz. And he told us the prosecution needs to end.
Charging an innocent person and trying to go after an innocent person, that's not justice. That's the opposite of justice.
And now it seems the prosecutor in the case agrees. As we prepared to go to air with this story, the prosecutor filed to dismiss the charges against Gober, saying the state has lost confidence in the reliability of the information provided by the victim in the case. In other words, he doesn't believe the information Hertz put forward about Gober is reliable, Tony.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, taking a turn.
Certainly doesn't seem reliable. Anna, did the prosecutor say anything more to explain this sudden turn and why now, as opposed to when this nightmare began?
Nope, he told us no comment. We also asked Hertz for its reaction to this. The company's not budging. In an updated statement, it told us the facts remain unchanged.
And Anna, I mean, is the guidance for people out there to take a picture of your rental car if you drop it off in the garage and leave the keys, which I've done, everyone has done if the attendant is not there. And then the other thing is, these cars have GPS, they have tracking. I mean, is that vehicle out there on the road now? Do we know what happened to it?
It was recovered a few months later somewhere in Virginia, but we don't know what happened to it.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez.
I know. Can I just say, I feel for Blake Gober.
Yeah.
Number one,
Anna, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
He left
Fantastic.
the keys in the car. He did everything he was supposed to do. You can still see that it's still affecting him today.
Him and his wife.
Him and his wife. And when something like that happens to you, it's so bizarre. You think, I'm the only one this has happened to.
Right.
And then you see that it's happened to other people.
And then that's when the anger
Come on,
kicks
Hertz.
in.
Come on, Hertz.
Yeah.
Come on.
Is there a way to find out if you're on this list from Hertz?
Yeah, that's very scary.
Very scary stuff.